Junction, Jones and the Corduroy Conspiracy. Show me a graphic novel that covers more bases than this one. And hello everyone, it is Tom, it is FANzine Live. We are looking at a new release today, that being Junction, Jones and the Corduroy Conspiracy by Tom Pescatore and Loco Gonzalez. Pescatore is the writer, Loco Gonzalez is the artist. Published by Marcosia Press. Tom, or Tom Pesky as he likes to go by, actually made a comic of the first section of this book and shopped it around in the United States looking for a publisher to do the whole shooting match. And yes, there is a lot to this graphic novel. Couldn't find it in the States. He found it at Marcosia Press. I will definitely put the Marcosia link in the show notes if you want to get yourself a copy. And you might want to. I'll start, while I'm thinking about it though, with a bit on Pescatore. He did a video at CXC in Bethesda, Maryland a couple of years back. He did it and talked about his book called The Union, which is more of a superhero type style thing. This was his other book, and he just gave me a copy of the comic and said, hey, take a look at it when you get a chance. This is the full discussion of it, and it really is a trip. It's a sci-fi book. I think somebody said on here, yes, if you've wondered what would happen if Mickey Spillane and H.P. Lovecraft got together with Philip K. Dick and ingested copious amounts of illicit substances, stayed up for a few weeks, and came up with a hard-boiled whodunit murder mystery science fiction story, well, I've got news for you. This is the answer you've been looking for. It's got a little of everything. So what we have here is a character named Jonesy, and the cat is named Niblet. Together, they have a whodunit. This is a big book. It took me a while to read. And so I've had dialogue with Pesky along the way. And I said to Tom, dude, this is really a trip of a book. And of course he says, thank you. And then I said, I really think that the feel for this book, the storytelling style, almost is more in the vignette mode of like a pulp fiction. And he said, well, that's actually kind of sort of what I was going for that. Of course, the science fiction element is there. The horror element is there. The Lovecraftian element, that apparently is there. You've got these two characters, and they are in Junction Town. And they're in this place called No Folks Land. And they're down in the skids. So this is a science fiction type element. You can see you've got your tech in the background, but it's got the griminess of like a Blade Runner down at the street level, if you remember that. So they find this character, this individual, all shredded up. Out of that, they get spotted. The cops come after them. Now here's the catch, and we'll learn it along the way. Jonesy is an android. The cat appears to be, I think, a human whose brain or brain contents have been dumped into this cat. So the cat is a fully functioning talking character in this, thinking and functioning and working at human level. This character has all the feelings, emotions, curiosities, and the like of a human being as well. Immediately you've got the line between real and artificial just getting blurred all over the place, which makes it kind of fun. There also is some dialogue there. Notice you got some of the characters who have like cat heads. I think there's one later with like a dog head. Jonesy has his lettering done in standard lettering. But when you get to Niblet's the cat, I don't know if you can tell here, but it's almost more of a EC Comics style lettering font, which is kind of cool. And you'll see that when he uses different characters in this book, he switches fonts. And so he does that for the main characters, which helps in understanding the narrative voice. he takes a lot of time. Tom does a ton of character building in this, a ton of world building, and that makes it all the more interesting. And yeah, there's a fair bit of action in this as well. So the gist is, this character who died has kind of sent these two on a wild goose chase. Then in the back, to show that there's even a deeper element to this, in the back of each chapter, Tom throws in material that doesn't necessarily make sense at first, but the back matter material almost has a Watchmen type feel to it. If you read it carefully, it'll follow along and it'll start explaining elements of the world, elements of the story that he doesn't come out and say, you know, this guy is an android. However, if you look at this, you see these worker androids. Who else has a beard? Our buddy Jonesy. Oh, wait, this guy has a beard too. That's the first chapter. They kind of decide, they decide on their quest. They're going to go find a person named Corduroy Caramel, I believe is the name. And the first thing they have to do is go check out this person named Toots. And Toots, of course, has his own fonts. Forschmack Toot, perhaps the best written character of the entire book. He is a novelty circus type promoter, a P.T. Barnum, if you will, who has some connection to the underworld in this Corduroy Caramel person. So you start getting some of the backstory, and he was on a train at one point. It was back in 2017. And look, there's a guy with a beard and another guy with a beard. Makes you wonder. And then you got this bad guy, Valentine Green, who has his own font as well. So you see that the different characters are getting in there. So you start getting some backstory told through flashback. Clearly there's time travel involved. And then the train crashed. Wait a minute. More information on the train. So if you read this, you're going to learn about a train crash in, say, 2017, because this was written supposedly in June of 2018. Something happened with these guys back in 2017. Toot turns them in, but there's this weird, I guess, Lovecraftian monster that Toot was holding on to that got loose. And now we go on to the next one. We got some more backstory stuff. Crash at Bonneville. What happened to the train in 2017? A movie that was made, Invasion of the Demon Space Hobos from Dimension J. There's a train crash. There's our buddy Toot, Valentine Green, and then you got some other characters. We're drawing it out further. And then you got a review of this movie. Another neat part, look at this, switching color. It's not just a black and white book. Everything's done for appropriate effect. It's a wild book. It is a crazy, crazy book. If you spend the time and really invest yourself into this thing, you will enjoy the experience at whatever level you choose. It's a fun little whodunit. It's a fun action thing. It's ridiculous world building, and the characterizations are just fantastic. So I'm not going to tell you too much more of what's going on. It does come to a satisfying resolution. Loco Gonzalez's art is great. And then, of course, like any good graphic novel, you got to have your pinup gallery. Some nice looking artwork in here. Really enjoyed it. Again, I can't say I entirely understood all of it, but as a reader of comics and the craft of comics, Tom has a technically brilliant book. He said that he actually tried to make it a little challenging to follow because that is the way that noir stories go. They always kind of left you wondering. They left you thinking. They left you wanting a little bit extra. And I think that's where he was going with this. Junction Jones and the Corduroy Conspiracy. Folks, this is Tom. I will have information on how to pick this up in the show notes. Make sure you like the video, please. Make sure you subscribe to FANzine Live and tell your friends, because your friends probably don't know about this book. And if they are interested in horror, if they are interested in science fiction, if they are interested in the Philip K. Dick style, this is a really good one. Good stuff. Folks, thanks for watching. I will catch you next time.